Whenever you feel offended, it's worth becoming curious, because offense isn't simply telling you something about the outside world. It's also telling you something about your inner world. Whenever resistance appears, there are usually two voices inside you. One agrees, one disagrees, one wants to move towards something, the other wants to pull away. That inner conflict is what creates the feeling of offense. Offense feels like a rule has been broken. Something feels unfair, disrespectful, wrong, and that's important. Not because it automatically proves the other person is wrong, but because it's inviting you to get clear. Which part of this do you actually believe? Which voice feels true? And are you standing on it, or arguing with yourself? Your nervous system is asking for clarity, because peace only arrives when the inner argument ends. Let me give you an example. Some years ago, I created promotional graphics for a client who sold health and wellness products. Most of the products helped people lose weight, improve fitness, and increase their energy. Naturally, many of the images featured lean, healthy-looking bodies. When I presented the designs, I immediately sensed resistance. My client was overweight at the time. In fact, that was one of the reasons he had become so passionate about the business. He genuinely wanted to help people who wanted to make a change. As he looked through the designs, he hesitated. He took a deep breath. Then he said, "Could we tone down the lean bodies a little? I think those images might offend overweight people." That sentence told me everything I needed to know. He wasn't describing other people. He was describing his own inner experience. So I asked him what he imagined would happen. He said, "People will feel bad about themselves. It will remind them they aren't where they want to be. If you're already overweight, you don't enjoy looking in the mirror. These pictures will only make them feel worse." There it was. His own nervous system was revealing the conflict. One part of him believed change was possible. That's why he joined the business. Another part still felt uncomfortable with his own body. So every time he saw a lean body, both voices became active. One voice said, "That's what I want." The other said, "Maybe I can't become that." The images themselves weren't creating the offense. They were exposing resistance that already existed. Now let's be clear. This isn't about judging anyone's body. The body isn't the issue. The emotional relationship with the body is. So I explained that there were really two peaceful options available. The first was to decide, I genuinely love and accept myself exactly as I am. I have a wonderful life. I have people who love me. I can move my body. I have energy. I don't need to become someone else to be worthy. If that felt completely true, those images would lose their emotional charge. The second option was to honestly acknowledge, no, I do want to become healthier. I do want to change. And I'm willing to stop arguing with that desire. Either position creates peace. What creates suffering is trying to stand in both places at once, wanting change while resisting the possibility of it, or telling yourself you're completely happy while secretly wishing things were different. That's where offense lives, in the split, not in the photograph, not in the words, not in the other person, in the unresolved conversation happening within us. So what's the takeaway? The next time you feel offended, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, what exactly am I feeling? What story am I telling myself? What are the two voices arguing about? Then gently ask, which one is actually true for me? Once you know your truth, stand on it peacefully. You don't need to defend it. You don't need anyone else to agree. Your peace doesn't come from changing the outside world. It comes from ending the argument inside yourself. The world simply reflects where that conversation is still taking place. And every moment of offense is an invitation to understand yourself a little more deeply.